Alright, hello, I'm Mr. Uppercasty. This is my submission video for Super Cat Tales, which is a platformer for iOS and Android. This is a submission video for games finished adequately, so let's get her started, I guess. So yeah, this is Super Cat Tales, or Super Cat Bros if you're on Android. This is a simple platformer about this cat named Alex, and we're gonna platform our way through a bunch of, through 6 colorful worlds, I guess. The movement's pretty straightforward. You can move left, you can move right. If you double tap left or right, you'll sprint in that direction, which is faster, but it has the drawback where you'll bonk into a wall if you sprint into it, whereas if you walk into a wall, you'll climb into it instead. So we have to cancel our dashes right before we hit walls by tapping the opposite direction. It's called the dash cancel. Similarly, if you sprint off of a ledge, you'll jump off of the ledge, but if you just walk off, you'll fall. So right here, I'm jumping over these ledges here, but on this one right here, I'm gonna dive off of it. It's called a ledge dive. You do that by doing a dash cancel right at the edge of the ledge, and you end up in a weird state where you can actually sprint while falling, which I don't think is intended, but it gives you a lot of control over your movement in the air. And so we're gonna do it a whole lot. I'm picking up some bells here. Every level has some number of bells in it. We need bells to unlock new worlds. So in particular, World 6, which is the final worlds, we need 70 bells to get in. And there's only 78 possible to get before World 6, so we need to pick up most of them. Alright, this is a town level, so there's no enemies here, but we need to collect a few things. I'm gonna do a pretty fancy ledge dive here. So you'll see, when I fell there, I was able to like sprint and then stop sprinting and then start sprinting again, all while in the air, and that's all due to the ledge dive. Another ledge dive there. Okay. It's very important that I jumped over that shop there. If you go in front of the shopkeeper will stop and talk to you. You have to sit through that. So we're gonna try and jump over as many shops as we can. Alright, so we picked up the key from the previous level, which lets us open that door. And we have a tree to climb. So I'm gonna bonk into this wall to stun these guys. Makes that a little easier. You can actually make that without bonking. It's just a really, really tight cycle. Interestingly enough, it's actually, this game functions differently on tablet versus phone. So it's depending on the screen resolution, I'm pretty sure. Enemies will spawn like right before they come on screen. And so depending on your screen size, like cycles can be different depending on your platform, which is kind of neat. I'm not sure if like phone is actually faster than tablet. I'm playing on a tablet though. So. Alright, so we're coming up to our first boss fight here. A pretty easy one. This is a giant beetle. So I'm just gonna jump here to get his attention, and then I'm just gonna bonk into the wall. It looked like I wasted time sprinting all the way over to the left side of the room here, but you can't actually knock him down until he stops sprinting, so there was actually, that was like pretty much the earliest I could have knocked him down. And we pick up some bells and we get out of here. So we're almost done World 1 here. Just one more straightforward level. So I have to destroy all the dandelions in the background to get that bell that I just picked up. And then this is another recurring minigame where you have to collect 5 butterflies within a certain amount of time. The time limit is like really, really generous, so it's not usually a problem. Alright, and you may have seen briefly there that Panda wants 5 bells before I can come into World 2, but we easily have that in this guy here. So I'm gonna do a fun thing here. I'm gonna try and hug the left side of this that bell there. And that's to manipulate that squid, so I could go right under him. Because he loads when you're about halfway across the lake. So you want to hug like the left side of the lake as long as you can, so that he spawns later and you can go right under him. And that only works on a tablet. On a phone, he's just going to load and you're going to hit him. So that level at least is faster on a tablet. That hit was intentional. So the way damage works in this game, whenever you hit enemies, you get this, like the stars orbiting around your head. And that lasts for about 5 seconds. And then if you get hit while there are stars orbiting around your head, you die. But other than that, you can get hit as many times as you want in any level, as long as... I didn't mean to jump there, oh well. As long as like there's more than 5 seconds between each one, you're fine. So there's a lot of intentional damage boosting. So you see now we've unlocked our next cat. So Alex is not the only cat in this game. We're going to assemble an entire team, and each of them have their own perks and drawbacks, and we're going to swap between them. Whenever you're standing on one of these pink platforms, you can just open up this cat menu and pick whichever cat you want. So Brutus can break through blocks. That's his perk. However, he cannot climb walls very high, so Alex is the only cat who could possibly climb that wall. All the cats can climb, just not very high. My splits tell me which cat to use in each level, though at this point I have them memorized. So I also got a bell for destroying all the sandcastles. That's another sort of recurring minigame, is destroying all the background elements in certain levels will give you bells. Alright, this is a really finicky level actually. In theory I should basically not be jumping very much at all. It's all ledge dives off of these really, really tiny ledges. So right here, and here. It's actually really finicky to get all these runs without like bonking or accidentally jumping, but it saves a bunch of time. Pick up this bell here. Yeah, that guy's gonna hit me, that's fine. Ideally you'd get over him, but it's actually not a big time loss. You have to wait for those second pair of squids anyway. Alright, so we move into our second town level here. And now I'm going to do something a little bit funky. I'm going to open up the cat menu, and I'm going to switch to Shinji, which I actually got first try, which is actually very, very good. So Shinji, we haven't unlocked Shinji yet, but he can swim through the bubbly water, so it saves a lot of time that we can get him now, and then we don't have to come back to this level later, otherwise we'd have to backtrack. But that is using a trick called the menu glitch. Basically, when you open up the menu, there's a one-frame window where you can just click on whatever cat you want as soon as the menu opens. I'm gonna buy some items here. So that lets us get cats that we don't have yet, which is actually super, super good, because otherwise you'd have to backtrack to this level once you unlock Shinji. And we're gonna use that throughout the run. Usually it doesn't, it's often you don't get it first try. I did get it there, which is really nice. I'm gonna try and get past these fish. No. It's a tight cycle. I messed it up, unfortunately. So also, I stopped at the store in that town to buy some items. Basically, the coins that we collect throughout the run, you can spend them on power-ups. And it's sort of like Super Mario 3, I guess. You have like a global inventory, and you can just choose to start a level with power-ups. Also, this was a red coin level. I needed to pick up 3 red coins for a bell, which I did there. So I've got some power-ups which I'll use in some levels coming up. This is 2-7. I sadly have to use Brutus here, and it's sad because this is the level where we're actually going to unlock Shinji. And unlocking Shinji while playing as Shinji is hilarious, but we're sadly not going to do it. But yeah, it just works normally. There's just 2 Shinjis in the cutscene. It's pretty great. I bonked into that wall on purpose because it times those invisible platforms coming back just in time. But anyways, so now we have Shinji for real, which is good, so we don't have to do the menu glitch to get him anymore. But that is not the last instance of the menu glitch by any stretch. This is a really tricky cycle here. I'm gonna try and get it. Nope, I bonked. That's not gonna work. Oh, and I jumped there, which is also not ideal. I meant to dive off of that cliff. But yeah, ideally I would have made it 1 cycle sooner under those squids, but that's not a huge deal. So we're going to use our first power-up here in this stage. I'm going to use a Tentacool. I named them all after Pokemon because they're sort of like summon helpers. So I'm going to use the jellyfish here. And this guy is going to follow me around, and he's going to attack enemies for me. Which isn't, like, I don't care about these squids at all, but later on in this stage it's going to be very, very useful. I also need to destroy the sandcastles in this level for Bell. And then we go into the boss fights, where this jellyfish is going to just beat him up for me. So what you're supposed to do is just run away from this fish as fast as you can, and you can't kill him or anything, it's an auto-scroller until the end of the level. But I'm just going to let the jellyfish take care of him. And we need to do that to get this bell over here. It's the only way. That is actually intended. You're supposed to get the bell this way. Also, you may notice that you swim very, very quickly when you have your head like pushing up against a wall, or against the ceiling rather. For whatever reason, you can just swim at like max speed. You can just mash, and you swim really, really quickly. So you want to rub your head against the ceiling whenever possible. Pick up those coins there. We actually need like a very particular amount of coins. Also, the reason I'm way behind on my splits right now is because normally you don't pick up that bell. That bell's slightly slower, but I'm doing a slightly safer route for marathon safety. It's about 5 seconds slower. I should pick up like 20 seconds in World 5 because of it. It's actually kind of interesting. It depends on which bell you want to skip. We have... Oops, that guy usually doesn't hit you. We've already skipped 2 bells, so we can actually only skip 1 more throughout the entire run. And which bell you want to skip is just like a choice you can make. And that boss fight one would have been one that you could skip. It saves you a power up and is just overall a really slow bell, but it's pretty safe to get. So another butterfly minigame here. Easy peasy. And yeah, we intentionally hit that guy because he's looking the wrong way. Alright, this level has some pretty tight cycles. Let's see if we can make some. Swap to Brutus. So these boulder guys... yeah, I'm gonna wait. So I'm just gonna hit him intentionally to get him out of the way. But you can obviously go under them when they're bouncing. Flip these switches to pick up this bell here. So I'm gonna try and get under this first bounce right there. He hit me, which is fine. I still got under him, which is good enough. Alright, good stage. So this level, depending on where the enemy spawns, he spawns in a sort of random spot. I may swap cats right at the start, or I might not. I'm gonna swap right now. Because that enemy is in a bad spot. This guy right here, I'm gonna hit him. But sometimes he just spawns really far away from you, and if that happens, you want to not swap, actually. So I did the menu glitch again to get Kuro here. Kuro is our OSHA-compliant cat. He has his hard hat. He can see in the dark. That is his perk. So he can get this bell in the darkness here. All the other cats, if you try and get them to go into the darkness, they just run away, which is too bad. It'd be kind of neat if you could just do all the dark like levels blindfolded, but sadly you can't. So you have to use Kuro. And again, just like using the menu glitch to get Kuro there is super good, because otherwise you have to backtrack for that bell. Okay, so I'm gonna use Brutus, and I'm gonna use a bat here. This is our next power-up. The bat is gonna collect coins for me. In particular, this is a red coin level, so I need to get the 3 red coins. And so he's gonna pick up the red coin right above us right there. Which lets us make a fast cycle on these windmills, because you don't have to go all the way to the top yourself. So it saves about 4 seconds to bring the bat into this level, which is really nice. Also, the coins he collects are worth double, not that that matters at all. So he picks up the 3rd red coin, we get the bell, and we can go to the end of the stage. Yeah, the bat's like the most useless power-up casually, but he's actually like quite good in the speedrun, I guess. Because he costs 50 coins to purchase, and then the coins he collects are worth double. But there's just like very few levels that have that many coins that make him actually worth bringing into a stage. So, anyways, I'm gonna unlock Kuro here. I could actually skip him and just menu glitch Kuro every time for the rest of the run, but it takes about 8 seconds to get Kuro here. Like, you could save 8 seconds by skipping Kuro, and it's just not worth it. Like, the menu glitch is hard enough that it's probably going to be faster to just unlock him. I have to do a whole bunch of really weird routing in this stage to get these switches to be in the right order so that we can get to the end of the level. Shopkeeper's going to stop us, that's fine. We don't need to buy anything. Yeah, so we're gonna need to use Kuro, or we're gonna need to swap to Kuro 4 more times throughout the rest of the run. And like on average, it probably takes you more than 2 seconds to swap to him using the menu glitch, so it just makes sense to actually unlock him for real. A couple of nice ledge dives there. Get through this level really quickly. And we're out. Alright, so this level actually has a really tricky cycle to make at the very end. Like a lot of the cycles in this game, it's not a global cycle, it's like a local cycle, because the stuff only spawns when they get like almost on screen. So even though I messed up the first part of this stage, it doesn't matter, I can still make the fast cycle. But starting from about here, I can't mess up at all. So I need to swap to Kuro here, and then I'm going to wait for this bat to come on screen. And then Kuro can just barely make it up this wall in 2 jumps, or in 1 jump, which gets us to that platform with just enough time to jump off of it. Otherwise you have to wait for that platform to come back, which takes like 10 seconds. So it's a nice little time save. And that's another reason to like unlock Kuro for real. If you like have to use the menu glitch there, it can take too much time and then you miss the cycle and it's just even slower. Alright, this is actually like a very finicky level. It's just nothing but ledge dives. So hopefully I don't accidentally jump at all. So far so good. I've clipped a couple of the ledges, but it's not a big deal. So yeah, just to reiterate, like every time I want to start sprinting, I need to double tap, and then right on the edge I need to tap the opposite direction and then immediately double tap to start sprinting again. It's like actually pretty like finicky to control your movement and not accidentally jump or accidentally just like walk off a ledge and fall. Oops. I guess I should also mention that your sprinting speed is actually faster than your jumping speed. So even if you're just trying to move horizontally, you want to be like diving off of ledges instead of jumping, like pretty much all the time. Alright, so now we move into World 4. I'm going to use Brutus in this stage. In theory, you're supposed to use Alex, but we're going to use a glitch to get away with Brutus. Brutus is really nice because he's going to snag this red coin. His hitbox is huge compared to any of the other cats, so you can get that red coin without slowing down. And here I'm just going to clip into the wall. So you're supposed to use Alex to get up onto this ledge, because you can climb up, but instead we can just get away with using Brutus. Oops. Which is really nice, because we need actually Brutus to bust through these blocks, so it saves us a swap by clipping through the wall there, which is really nice. But yeah, the wind in this world is like really good at just pushing you into walls. And we're going to make use of that one more time. Alright, so our next cat is in this level. We can't actually, it's Amy, but we can't actually unlock her right now because we need a key. So we need to beat 4-3, which is the next level, and then we can come back. Also, I need to destroy all these background snowmen, which is why I'm going out of my way to do that. Like these 2 in front of me right here. I'm gonna need to sprint into them. Because there's a bell. Okay, that's fine. So we're gonna come back for Amy in just a second. So you see these 2 enemies are traveling in pairs, which is going to be sort of a recurring theme. So those 2 enemies would actually just kill you if you hit them, because one of them is just going to knock you back into the other one. So enemies are starting to actually become somewhat dangerous. Pick up this key and then grab this bell, and then we can go to the end of the stage. Couple of ledge dives off of those ledges there. Saves a tiny amount of time. And now we're supposed to go back to 4-2 and unlock Amy, but of course we can just use the menu glitch. So we're just never gonna unlock Amy. Of course, now that I say that, I'm gonna just like fail this for 10 years. Oh man. There we go. Usually doesn't take that long. You saw the first couple that I did in the run took almost no time, but sometimes, yeah, it's just tricky to get the timing. As I said, you have basically a 1-frame window as soon as the menu finishes opening to just tap on the silhouette of the cat that you want. Amy, we're going to need to menu swap to her 4 times also throughout the rest of the run, but skipping her saves about like 2 minutes, so it is totally worth doing. I'm going to hit this guy. Okay, so I need to hit these 2 switches in quick succession, and I'm going to do this butterfly minigame at the same time. So I'm going to jump over the switch. And get the second switch. So yeah, that Amy glitch was not as clean as it could have been. Okay, so I'm going to purchase a fire penguin here. This fire penguin, I need to switch to Amy again now, annoyingly enough. There we go. So this fire penguin melts ice blocks for us, so that's really handy. I'm also going to stop and talk to this guy for 50 coins. I'm not going to rate the game though, because I'm a mean person, I guess. Oops, okay. So he melts these ice blocks so we can pick up this bell. And I guess I should mention that the menu glitch you can also use on power-ups. So you don't actually need to pay coins for power-ups if you don't want to, and I'm going to do that in this stage. This is the only glitched power-up we're going to get. I need a second fire penguin here. And it functions the same way. There we go. I'm also going to clip through the wall again here, so I'm going to use this wind. Or try to. Oh, please. This one's a lot more finicky than the one in 4.1, for whatever reason. There we go. And for whatever reason, the camera also doesn't follow you, so you sort of have to do this just blind. There we go. So I pick up the bell up there, which is nice. Again, you need Alex to get up there normally, but we need Amy for the end of the stage, so it's really nice that we don't have to swap to him. Especially since like swapping to Amy is actually like super annoying to do. So yeah, it saves quite a bit of time if you can do it quickly. Alright, and we have another Amy level here. Fortunately, we have her already, so that's nice. So I'm gonna fall into the water here, and I do not want to grab the attention of that bat. Fortunately, I did not. I was far enough to the left that he didn't see me, which is good, because if he wakes up, he just makes your life really annoying. Really important that I don't fall into the water here, but it's pretty straightforward to not do it. Couple of ledge dives into the water, and we're clear. Alright, the last level in World 4. This is another boss fight. It's a pretty easy fight, though. I'm gonna swap to Alex. You could use Shinji for this level, but we need Alex in the next level anyways, so it makes sense to just swap to him now. Alex is slightly better at climbing these walls, so... Alright, fortunately that guy didn't hit me. These enemies can be quite scary if you slow down at all. I didn't get it. Didn't get the fast bell there. That's fine. Alright, into the boss fight. We need to deflect his attack back at him, so I'm gonna grab the wall at a very specific point. Right here, and then he fires the snowball right at me, which kills him. That was a good World 4. And now we go from Ice World into Fire World. Oh, sorry, my phone is ringing. Oh. Stop that for now. So we easily have enough bells here, so he's gonna let us in. So this world is covered in lava. So the lava doesn't actually instantly kill you, it just damages you very quickly. But if you jump into the lava, you can actually jump out very fast. If an enemy hits you to the lava, you're dead. But anyways, need Amy here, so we're gonna swap over to her. I'm gonna hit this guy. We need Amy to get this bell here. But yeah, this world is definitely very dangerous. Very easy to die here. Alright, 5-2. This is another level where we need to destroy background elements, so these flowers. So I need to make sure I sprint into all of them. Bell. This level also has a really brutal cycle to make at the very end of the stage. So from about here I need to play perfectly. Yeah, I got it. Just barely. That's a lot closer than it looks too. That platform just like clips through you if you're at all slow. So. Alright, Lava Coaster. This is probably the hardest level in the game, like, certainly casually. This level is just a brick wall of difficulty. I'm slowing down slightly because there's a red coin in this wheel, so I want to make sure I get it. Fortunately, I can actually skip a bell in this level. So yeah, these conveyor belts with fireballs it's insanely easy to die here. You need to jump up here to get a bell. And then I need to wait here for just a second because there's another red coin in this wheel, which I need to get. There it is. So I'm skipping that bell there. Normally that bell is actually in the route. So here's where I'm gaining the time that I lost in 2-8. That bell is slightly quicker, but it's way more dangerous. You need to do a menu glitch to get Amy and then cross that lava pit like 3 times. You need to cross it as Amy, get the bell, cross it again to get back to the swap pad to switch back to Alex, and then cross it a 3rd time. And it's just very, very easy to die. That's about 5 seconds faster, though. Optimally. If you do the menu glitch quickly. Alright, another cycle here. I want to get these butterflies before and not get trapped in between these 2 lava pillars afterwards. So we need to do a dive off of that ledge. Good enough. I pick up the last bell here. And a neat little ledge dive there. You just barely touch that 3rd platform. Enough that you can ledge dive off of it. Alright, so I'm gonna use Kuro in this level. We need Kuro in the next level. We could use Brutus here. The reason we swapped to Kuro is just for like muscle memory reasons. If for whatever reason you did actually want to skip Kuro and use the menu glitch on him, you'd want to swap to Kuro in this level because the next level we need Kuro and it's a cycle-based level, so you don't want to waste time doing the glitch in that level, if that makes sense. I'm gonna do a dive off of this tower. Pick up this bell. Jumping off of there is actually like quite a bit slower, and I jump over the shop too. But yeah, if I had jumped off of the castle instead of diving off of it, it's like 2 seconds slower. It's like atrocious how much slower jumping is than diving. Yeah, so we need Kuro here. For some dark rooms going up. So these platforms, you can't touch them when they're glowing, which is simple enough. I didn't check my coin count. I think I have enough, but hopefully we do. I'm gonna do some purchasing after this level. The last purchasing in the game. And if I'm short, then I'll just menu glitch the items. In theory, you don't have to buy anything in this game. I bought a couple of power-ups. In theory, you don't need to buy any of them, but in general, it's going to be quicker than trying to do the menu glitch to get items if you have enough money. So I have 408 coins, and we need 400 exactly. So that'll work. Also note that I have -1 fire penguins because I glitched one earlier. So if I were to buy a fire penguin, I would have 0 fire penguins, and I still wouldn't be able to bring it into the level. So if you glitch an item, you're basically not allowed to purchase that item ever again unless you like want to pay off your debt of all the power-ups that you borrowed earlier, which is kind of funny. Very important to not hit a fireball here. If you hit one, you're dead because it'll knock you into the other fireball. So this penguin here, he melts these, or he freezes these flaming blocks, which lets us get this bell. So Neat strat, you can just jump over this lava pit, and I'm gonna jump over this next one as well. And then swap to Brutus, and then we can just jump back because the platform just moves just slightly enough to put it right in your jump range. Like, works really, really nicely. Because those lava pits would otherwise be super treacherous with the fireballs shooting at you, but fortunately it's actually really easy. Oof, that guy wanted me dead. Okay, I'm gonna wait here for just a second just to make sure I don't die. And we're out of there. Okay, we're gonna use our last Ice Penguin, or Articuno, here. Not required for this level, but it saves about 10 seconds, so it's worth getting. So yeah, way back in World 4, I glitched an item, and the only reason I glitched the item there was just to minimize the number of shopping trips. Oh geez, okay, I'm gonna wait. That's fine. So yeah, it was just like, I could have glitched this Ice Penguin instead, but it's just more optimal for shopping purposes. So I'm gonna wait here for just a second at the start of this fight, so that he's gonna miss me now with all his fireballs. His fireballs are all just gonna go super wide, or they should. Oh, what? That was weird. Okay, I need to wait. That's fine. Oops, okay. I tried to dive off of that ledge and I messed it up. But yeah, you can see, like, when you take damage, you can, like, still try and go fast, or you can, like, play it safer or whatever. Yeah, just, like, how you feel about, like, if you want to live dangerously or not. Alright, so this is World 6. We should have exactly 70 bells, which is the number of bells we need. If not, I'll be really sad. Okay, good. And yeah, now we don't need any more bells. Which is really nice, because that was the last, like, bell gate. So I'm gonna hit this guy. I'm just hitting all the enemies in this stage to speed it up. And then a neat little strat here, I'm gonna run at this guy. He knocks you back right onto the platform, and you can just sprint off of it. Nice 6-1. So I mentioned a long time ago, or a little while ago, Brutus has, like, a giant hitbox. His hitbox is larger than any other cat. In theory, it's actually suboptimal to use him in the dragon boss fight because of that, but we need him in 6-2 with, like, this level here. So to save ourselves a swap, we just, like, put up with Brutus through the end of World 5 and into World 6. This is our last cat, Ollie. In theory, we could skip him as well, but it's actually, like, it's literally faster to unlock him. And you notice I just ran over a key. That key, we don't need to get it because, if you recall, in World 4, we skipped Amy. And Amy was behind a locked door, so I actually have one extra key. So that we can skip that one, and that key takes like 45 seconds to get, and that's basically the reason why skipping Amy saves so much time. Is because she allows you to save that extra key. So Ollie here can fly, which is kind of neat, I guess. Or fall slowly, I guess. He's a cat bird, I guess. And here's our last Amy. Our last... that was pretty good. Last swap to Amy in the run. Okay, that's fine. I'm gonna wait here for just a second, because these bees can sometimes hit you. Most of the time they don't, but like, I don't know, 1 in 20 times maybe, they'll just nail you, which is really unfortunate, actually. Particularly in this stage, they can knock you off of a ledge, which costs you 10 seconds. It's really unfortunate when that happens. But... so we need Alex to pick up this key here. And then we swap to Brutus to break these blocks. And then we need to go back and swap to Ollie to fly over this this giant pit. And hopefully the bees play nice. I'm just gonna wait for this. Okay, bees play nice. Thank you. Thanks, bees. So yeah, those bees can sometimes just snipe you and you fall all the way back down. Alright, so this is the last town level. I don't need any of the bells, so I just need to pick up the one key that's here. And then we can be on our way to the final temple. And we just jump over the rest of the stage. jump over the shop for the last time. Oops. And we go into the final temple. So this level's called 3 Doors. We fortunately have 3 keys exactly. Next to that extra one we have from World 4. This enemy's hitbox is... Oh, okay. I was trying to show off that his hitbox is really wonky and you can sort of go right through him. That didn't cost any time because I had to wait for this fire bar cycle anyways. Ooh, okay. That's fine. It is very easy to die in this area here. Okay, that's fine too. I'm just gonna wait. Yeah, a lot of enemies there will just like knock you into other enemies and that sort of thing. It's really rough. Alright, our last use of Kuro in the run. This is actually a pretty cool stage. There's like a really neat cycle that we can make here. So I need to jump over this switch, just like that, which gets us over to this switch, and then we can just dive into this hallway. Swap to Alex, and we make this fast fire bar cycle. So fire bars are actually global cycles. Like most other things are local, and then we do a nice dive through the rest of this. But yeah, fire bars are the one thing that are actually global, so you have to pay attention to how well you're doing the level. And speaking of fire bars, we're going to see a lot of them in this final boss fight. So we're going to swap to Ollie here. Ollie's going to bring us home. Our last ledge dive, I'm going to try and get as far into this cutscene as possible. That wasn't too bad. You can get a little bit farther than that before the cutscene locks you. But here's the final boss, a giant black eyeball thing. And it's another conveyor belt over lava level. So basically any hit will kill you. I think I can fast cycle this. Okay, good enough. Obviously I didn't want to get hit there, but I'll take it. Saves 4 seconds to make that cycle, so... but yeah, it's very easy to die in this fight, particularly this section here. So I'm gonna dodge that, hopefully. Good, very good. And that's the boss fight. So we all know the Eldritch Abomination's one weakness is bells. Alright, one last dive off this tower, and that is Super Cattails. A pretty good run, actually. 37 minutes. Yeah, and that's it. So, thank you for watching.